Hello, once again, and welcome to the Super Barley Brothers podcast. My name is Scott, co-host of the Super Barley Brothers podcast, and I am thankful for Veterans and Veterans Day to have that day off tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Ian. I'm also a co-host of the Super Barley Brothers podcast. I am also the audio engineer that puts this whole thing together. At this point, I'm supposed to say something quirky, but I spent way too much time thinking about the subject matter of this podcast to think about something quirky. So, moving right along.
Hi, this is Jerry. I'm also a co-host of the Super Barley Brothers. Insert quirky comment here, post-edit.
All right, I am John. I am the final co-host of this podcast. I am the resident alcoholic and beer connoisseur. And as such, that is a great way to segue into our first portion of this podcast. As you guys know, and as you listen to, we cover what games we're playing, what beers we're drinking, and we're going to slightly change our format up here just a little bit on this one. But going into the playing and drinking portion of this, as for what we're drinking, tonight I am drinking a breakfast stout by Founders. Always a classic. I will actually be attempting to remake this beer in about 3 weeks with an all-grain recipe. And as far as what I'm playing, I have been playing Terraria, as well as some SimCity, and what else? Somebody remind me what the hell I'm playing.
I don't know, something that has to do with video games.
Well, hey, let me throw you under the bus here real quick. Why don't you sell me on Tiara? I can't even pronounce it.
Terraria.
Thank you. See, I've had way too many beers already. No, but I just want to... Hey, shut up. So, what's the premise of the game?
Okay, so the easiest overview of Terraria, 2D side-scrolling Minecraft. That's probably the best way to look at it. It's a sandbox-style game with campaign elements, if you want to go with that, but really it's just a sandbox of Minecraft in a side-scroller format. And oddly enough, it's a lot of fun. Very easy, very simple to play. Right-click, left-click, and that's about it. Oh, and you've got magic, which you do not have in Minecraft.
Magic, you say?
Magic.
And you know, I don't know much on Minecraft, but you and I were talking about this last night, talking about the whole server setup. So you can do co-op in this, and I think you and Scott have been playing it.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, myself, Scott, and his brother have been playing Terraria in a 3-player multi, and I'm sure that we can get many more people onto said quote-unquote server, which is really nothing more than just opening up a port on your computer and then telling your friends the IP address.
Okay.
Now
And the game is cheap. It's only $9.99, and like John said, it provides hours and hours of entertainment. We have been playing, and I've already logged, I think we've gone about 14 hours into it. There is mission-based monsters that you can take out, so it's not just Minecraft where you just build whatever you want to and it's a sandbox. There is quest things that you can do where you can go rescue people in dungeons. You can go defeat monsters, but you seriously need to make sure that you level up and craft the items. Crafting mechanic is a lot simpler than Minecraft, where in Minecraft you have to actually take the supplies and actually put them in a specific grid based. I want to say it's a 3x9. And in Terraria, all you have to do is just stand by the object to craft the item, and you just hit escape to bring up your queue, and you just click the item to craft it. Very user-friendly, very simple to use. It's a great way for a beginner that wants to get their hands in on a true sandbox game to start out with.
Man, that sounds simplified, very similar to the Minecraft Xbox 360 edition, because that one was simplified as far as the crafting is concerned.
Do you still have to use that grid base, or how does it work on the 360?
No, basically it's just like how you said, where if you have the items, you kind of scroll through a list of possible items that you can make. It shows the grid on the screen. You know, if you want to make an iron pickaxe, you just got to make sure that you have the right amount of iron and the right amount of sticks so that you can easily just pop it out.
That is neat. I can't wait to play that on the PS4.
Grumble.
And the battle has begun.
Well, John, I didn't mean to throw you off,
No,
but
no,
I was
fine.
curious about that.
Yeah, no. That's it. Like I said, it's real simple. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to play. So if you're looking for something after you're done dealing with any kiddos or whatnot, or just you're looking to burn some time, that's a great and easy game to play. So yeah, good way to go. That's all I've got.
Well, I'll go with the beers first. It's my favorite time of year for beers, and I've been trying different Oktoberfests. Shiner Oktoberfest is what I'm drinking right now. Of course, Sam's was always my go-to, Sam Adams. Tried Rar and Sons, and John, you were saying that's out of Fort Worth, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm liking them so far. I've tried 2 of their brews, the Oktoberfest, and then an Ugly Pug, which is a black lager.
Mm-hmm.
I still like the Shiner Black Lager a little bit more, but I'm really liking this Fort Worth brew, and I'm looking forward, I don't know if they have it, a winter ale or something of that nature for the December-January time frame.
They've got sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but they've got a winter warmer.
Winter warmer. Okay, cool.
Yeah, winter warmer that they make. So that would be a good seasonal one to keep your eyes out for.
Yeah, I'll probably be picking that up then. They actually carry it we're all local here, so at Kroger, they've got some Rar and Sons there. So
good.
Just to let y'all know.
That is very, very good.
Yeah. As far as playing, DMC, reboot of the Devil May Cry, actually did a review on that earlier. I want to get back to that one. I want to do this new one that my brother-in-law introduced me to and John yesterday, Space Engineers. I've never played Minecraft or Kerbal Space Station, but basically to me, from an outside perspective, that's what it looks like. You go in there and you're building these spaceships, you're building these space stations, small ships, big ships, and all this different stuff. And that's it. There's not like fighting going on at this point. It's in alpha right now, $15 on Steam. I picked it up last night, started playing it, and already logged a couple hours. Nowhere to the point where Doug is. I tell you, he was blazing through and building. He probably could build a big ship in the amount of time it took me to build a small ship.
Yeah.
But it's fun, and it's an alpha, and they're talking about that you're going to have the ability to mine asteroids. You're going to have the ability to multiplayer. I don't know if it's like you're going to have objective base or if it's just going to be a bunch of fighting and trying to repair ships as you go or something like that. But it's one of those ones that you're just talking about. You could burn hours on it and not even know it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so far I'm really enjoying it. Again, have never done those types of video games before, but and this being just an alpha, I can't even wait because it's pretty awesome already.
I'm actually glad to hear you say that you're enjoying it. That actually makes me very happy to hear.
Yeah, it's good. Good $15 so far. So I don't know if they're going to take donations, but I wouldn't mind doing that again when beta comes out or something like that. So
yeah, that may not be a bad way to go. Maybe get some extra perks and add-ons.
Yeah.
Be nice.
But DMC, all I can say, go read my review. I loved it. We were having some conversation about it. But the fighting, I played the first Devil May Cry, back when it first came out, and I've got the other ones. I've just never touched them. Good old backlog there. But hack and slash third person, it was fun. I played it on the easy mode just to get through the story, and even then it was presenting challenges, right? I didn't just blaze through it or anything like that. I still think that the fights were fair. I thought that the story was good, but at the end, and this is kind of what I mentioned in the review, it's like I wanted more. I wanted more story. The voice acting was good, the directing was good, and of course everything else about it, the mechanics, the graphics, I loved it. Really, again, I always had to look for cons. The boss battle, it was a pattern. Find it, repeat it, or die, basically. You got to find that pattern. Once you find that pattern on a boss battle, you just keep on repeating it and you're good. But they have a different kind of difficulty. And Ian, I don't know if you or Scott had done this. Have y'all gone back through and done any of those step-up difficulties?
Oh, no.
I started Son of Sparta, and I quickly stopped. Son of Sparta.
So it does present challenges, huh?
Oh, yeah.
The great thing about it is it actually makes it more unique of a gameplay. So what you're going to be thinking when you get into that second playthrough is you're going to be knowing or think that you know where the enemies are going to be spawning from and what enemies you're going to be dealing with. They totally revamped it and made it randomized. So you have no idea what hell's going to be coming at you literally.
Yeah. And
it actually adds to difficulty as well as uniqueness and a way to try to get you to play through it again because you don't know what you're going to be walking into.
Yeah, that's kind of what I read. I don't know when I'll go back through, because right now I'm just trying to get through a backlog, but I definitely want to. I had a blast playing it. besides the boss battle type repeat, which I'm going to assume is going to be different when you're doing these step-up difficulties. The fighting going between human, angel, and demon mode was, to me, seamless. And I played with a gamepad. I wasn't trying to do this on a keyboard and mouse or anything like that. But it made it so much fun, just being able to switch between all those modes and everything like that. But again, just the boss battle, and I just wish there was more story, really.
Now, Jerry, let me ask you a quick question. Talking about DMC, how many how many monitors are you running?
I'm running 2.
Oh, okay. The reason why I ask is because this is one of those games that can actually work on up to 3 monitors.
What?
So that you can have 2 on either side of the primary monitor in the middle. So it gives you more of a what's the term I'm looking for? Peripheral.
Panoramic.
Well, panoramic and peripheral, so that there's nothing that could be attacking you from off screen because you've got so much screen that you could see.
So your field of view is opened up.
Yeah. I mean, you still see the exact same stuff you would see on a single monitor, but it opens up the other 2 sides just a little bit more so that you could see more.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know that. Dagnabbit.
I guess that means
the more you know.
Right. We should go with Doug and use his 3 monitor
I know, right?
setup.
There you go.
Now, I have a quick question for the 2 others that have played this. Did they ever explain why when Dante goes into Devil Trigger mode, why his hair turns white?
Yes.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, you totally did.
All right, sweet.
So go ahead and enlighten us, because I don't. Now I'm questioning myself. Did I miss that?
Because video games.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Good answer.
There's no real explanation for it. It's just, as far as I can recall. I mean, I bought the game when it first came out, and I blazed through it in, I want to say it was about 8 hours, and enjoyed every minute of it. In fact, the only reason why I wanted more of it is because of Cat. I needed a reason to stare at that. But I don't remember any exact reasoning as to why his coat turns red and his hair turns white. I think all that was just to pay homage to the fans that have been playing the game since the first game.
Okay. And I could see that, and that's kind of what I was feeling too, because that's why I remembered, and I went back, and I was like, oh yeah, he did have white hair and a red coat. The other reason why I do want to play it on a second playthrough, though, is I love to collect things, and even though I rushed through this, well, I wouldn't call it rush, I played through it without having to go through every nook and cranny to try to find all of the lost souls, all of the devil keys and the gold keys and the platinum keys and whatever keys. So my second playthrough, I really want to do that, but I also want to unlock every ability and, extra perk that I can use on all my weapons, just because I'm a completionist. And when it comes to that, I'm not a completionist where it comes to having to kill 2,000 enemies or anything like that. That's just time consuming. I don't have time for that. But as far as collecting enough souls to upgrade and all that other stuff, I will be continuing. And in my spare time, it's not going to be like I'm going to play this every night, but that it does have that replayability to it, which I like.
No,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jerry.
I was just going to say, I want him by our next podcast to have played through it the second time. That's
all right.
Okay. Now, with that being said, let me throw out a possible bit of help towards you guys if you are going to go through on secondary playthroughs. Now, I don't know if the PC version has this, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But there was a free download on the consoles, primarily 360, for a DLC thing called the Bloody Palace. I don't know if you guys got this.
That cost money.
It cost money for you guys?
Yes, it is a DLC that is on Steam, and I don't have Steam brought up, but I thought I saw it was like a couple bucks or something like that.
That is bullshit. Oh, well.
Hey, I got it for $7.49, so I'll pay a couple bucks if it means it's still under what you had to pay.
What was the DLC called?
It's called Bloody Palace. Basically what it is.
It's free.
Ooh. Okay. So,
well then, stand corrected. My bad.
There you go.
Someone just embarrassed themselves.
Yeah,
Fuck
really. I'm not editing that out. You're just going to have to deal with it.
When we're done, I'll be bringing Steam up and downloading that.
Okay, so basically what it is it's a grind fest. It's a wave after wave type of situation where as long as you're in there like gathering orbs, you can keep those orbs. So, Scott, if you want to go ahead and upgrade everything that you can possibly upgrade, you could go through there, collect as many orbs as you need, and then go through and enhance or upgrade your weapons and movesets.
I have to admit also, I think that you were warning me about this, that I was coming up on a fun part in the game, in the nightclub. That was fun.
That was not what I was referring to, but that was a fun part.
Round 1.
I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, I thought it was intriguing, and the way how she was trying to put a spin on it with like the what's that stupid ass show? Oh, American Idol.
Yep.
They tried to put that kind of a spin on it too.
Yep. Jerry, since you've played through this as well, without giving too many spoilers, talk about Virgil's downfall.
I can't talk about it unless I can say a spoiler.
All right, never mind then. Is it worth playing? Okay, for a person that's beat it like Ian.
Oh,
that
dude.
has not gotten it yet.
Yes. I mean, here's the thing. I think at the end of the regular game, right, I think that regardless of the DLC Virgil's downfall, they leave the game, of course, open for a sequel. I mean, we're talking about, and I'm sorry, I've got to do a little spoiler here. Dante grew as an individual, as a character, right? He was at the beginning of the game, one end of the spectrum. At the end of the game, he's at the other end. And with that and that relationship that he built with Kat, I definitely see Ninja Theory and Capcom coming out with a sequel. I hope that's going to happen. Virgil, something happens to him, and then we go into this epilogue DLC. Same button controls and everything like that with Dante, but you're talking Virgil has a different fighting style. I actually liked Virgil's fighting style over Dante's. I had a heck of a blast with him playing through it. They did a little bit different. They did some the storytelling was in more of a I'm going to get it wrong probably, a comic type format for when the cutscenes came up. It wasn't like your cinematic format. It was more comic based format. And you got more story about what Virgil is going through now as an individual and going back to their childhood and everything like that. So you get some backstory on Virgil, and downfall is really referring to his downfall from grace, basically, and how he's turned the coin.
Okay. Well, now, let me just kind of throw this out there just so that you feel better about yourself, Jerry.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone who has followed Devil May Cry or DMC should know what's going on with Virgil. I mean, he was already a character in one of the previous games, actually, technically, in 2 games. And there was, they announced Virgil Downfall's DLC prior to the game actually releasing it. They were giving it away as they were giving away the codes for the download as a pre-order through particular retailers and things along those lines. So it's kind of one of those things where me, being someone who has played through and devoured every single Devil May Cry game, I love the hell out of the entire series. And when they announced that, before I'd even played the game, I was like, okay, well, that kind of ruins the end of the game for me.
Okay, so it was their own fault.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But, the only reason why I haven't downloaded the DLC is just because I don't know. I don't have the money.
Yeah. Well, right now it's Scott. Right now it's $8.99 on.
I picked it up.
Oh,
I
you
picked
did?
it up when it's 75%.
I did too. Okay, good. So yeah, I mean, definitely play through it. I had fun with it. I like his fighting style a little bit better, but yeah. So I mean, he could be a return character, hopefully playable, right? Kind of like what they did with Batman Arkham City or something like that, where you got to go back and forth between Batman and Catwoman. That'd be cool to be able to do on DMC 2.0.
Batman, you say?
God, I hope they don't call it 2.0.
Whatever. That's their code name. Shut up.
Okay. I thought they would go with something funny like, I don't know, Angel May Laugh.
Oh. You're gonna have to edit that.
Yeah.
There was clipping involved.
That's staying. That's staying.
Whatever. All right. So, if nobody has anything else about DMC, I'm done.
Okay. Well, that goes into me. Damn, I want to take that out. That goes into me. That's
what.
Nope, gotta say.
That's a horrible statement. I shouldn't have even said that. So, moving right along to what I've been drinking.
I can continue talking because this is kind of nice. I can see why you and Scott enjoy it so much.
I know.
So, John,
Jesus,
what
Jerry,
do we want to talk about and take over this whole podcast?
Right.
That's the new format. It's the Jerry and John show now.
We are hijacking this show, and you guys can no longer have access to it.
You guys think this is up for a debate? You remember I am the engineer. I'll just drop all of your stuff out and make it sound like me and Scott talked for, well, it'll probably only boil down to about 20 minutes, but whatever.
Yeah,
And
even
what
are you drinking?
And even then, when you guys get into that conversation, it's going to be nothing more than, well, the Xbox One is better than the PS4. PS4 is better than the Xbox One.
You know
No,
what?
he'll dub me into saying Xbox One is awesome instead of PS4.
Save that.
Yeah. There's
Mark.
going to have to be a specific cast for me and him having a huge pissing contest. $500, $400 pissing contest.
Exactly.
All right, so moving right along, what I'm drinking, what's in my glass right now is New Belgium, probably going to mispronounce this, Accumulation. It's a white Indian pale ale. It is their winter seasonal. I've enjoyed just about everything I've had from New Belgium. I haven't really had the Fat Tire.
What?
Which, yeah,
That's
I
like
know.
the staple.
I know, but it's just not something that I've had. I mean, I've had their Abbey, their Triple, a lot of their other ones, and really enjoyed it. And this one's not.
Is it just kind of there for you?
Yeah, it's not kicking my ass or anything like that. I mean, it's not screaming at me. So then moving right along, what I've had recently is I was able to track down one bottle of St. Arnold's Pumpkinator.
Ah, yes.
That was delicious, as always. I had a buddy of mine that was actually able to get his hands on a case of them because he was at a store that is not centered around specializing in beer. So, of course, they put no limitations on how much anyone could buy, and he was there as the guy was bringing it out to the aisle. And the guy was like, yeah, you can take as much as you want. He picked up a case of it and took it with him. So he's cellaring 2 bottles. And these are bomber-sized bottles. This is not a 6-pack type of situation.
Yeah, these are the 22s.
Yeah, exactly. So he's cellaring a couple of those bottles, which that's going to be fantastic to just go over to. Hopefully,
We're going to have to have an
overdose.
offline about that.
Yeah. Well, next year we're gonna have to hit choice and everyone get one, and we draw numbers to see how long someone cellars theirs, and then we all get together and sample each other's. With that being said, that's kind of like my gateway into it. Currently has been one of my favorite seasons in beer is when everybody's doing their pumpkin ales and things along those lines. We started talking about this last time, but it really hadn't gotten into full swing until now. But I've had some fairly good stuff. The ones that really stand out, of course, is the St. Arnold's Pumpkinator, because that's like the holy grail of pumpkin beers for me. 2 others that I've been drinking on recently that I really enjoy are Southern Tier's Warlock and Pumpkin.
Yep.
And those are really good. I have to say that I prefer the Warlock over the Pumpkin.
Yes.
I as well.
It's the stout portion of it that you're liking, isn't
Yes.
it?
Well, yeah, it's more the full body, and then you've got that very delicious, almost pumpkin pie flavor behind it. The pumpkin, I mean, it's good because that's an ale compared to a stout, so the flavor is not as punch you in the fucking throat, but it's there. I enjoy that one as well. There's nothing wrong with either of them. I'm just saying which one I prefer over the other.
If you're in need of more of that, there is a new liquor store that has opened up off of over by Collin Creek Mall in Fries. It is called Total Wine and More.
Oh yeah, that place that opened up in my old employer, CompUSA.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, they had cases upon cases upon cases of Warlock just sitting out.
Really?
Oh yeah, and Pumpkin and RAR's 9th anniversary and.
Okay. Well, I mean, currently, my local shop that I think we all use, they've still got it. So, of course, I'm going to give my money to the local guys before I go driving out of town to get more.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I will definitely check that out as soon as our guys here run out. So that's what I've been drinking, except for the regular. Again, as many people probably have already guessed, we all live in the same kind of area. We all live in McKinney, and we're close to a brewery by the name of Franconia. I know I've already talked about their beers. That's one of my go-tos. That's my staples. So, other than my pumpkin beers that I've been drinking recently, I've been drinking a lot of Franconia wheat, Franconia Dunkel, because those are the good stuff. That's some people pick up Bud Light when they have pizza. I pick up those too.
Hey man.
So
And very wise
moving on-
choices.
Yeah, because you know what they say about American beer, right?
That you shouldn't be drinking it.
Well, no, it's like sex in a canoe, fucking close to water.
Oh my!
I like
I
that.
can't say that I've heard of that one before.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't know if that's American beer or if that it might be macro brew is how the joke is supposed to go. Either way, I've already downed one of these things. I'm about to start on the second. So going into the games I've been playing lately, I'm going to go ahead and get one out of the way because I know there's going to be questions about it, and I'm only like 2 to 3 levels into it, and I'm okay with answering any question that you guys want to ask me. Tonight, I just started playing Halo Spartan Assault.
Ooh.
And I am not really all that happy with it.
Aww.
What?
Yeah, I know. I am the Halo fanboy of this group, and it's a twin stick shooter, and it's not that bad, but it's one of these. It's a twin stick shooter where you have to pull the trigger as well as aim the gun. To me, that kind of defeats the purpose. There's also ammo that you have to take account of. The one thing that really started to set me off, and I'm not sure if I've told you guys my brother's Crisis story. One of these days I'm going to have to perform that on YouTube and throw that up in the group so everyone could see it. But there was a mission that I was doing earlier tonight where you're escorting 2 vehicles, and I'd be moving along and I'd be picking off Covenant troops and stuff like that, and all of a sudden I would die. And okay, well, what the hell killed me? Well, start over. And every time you start over, you start at the beginning. There are no checkpoints. Because keep in mind, this game was also made to be a mobile game, so the missions are little bite-sized chunks.
Right.
So I'm blowing through it again. Okay, I'm escorting these guys. All right, taking everybody out. What the hell just killed me? What is going on? And then, I get to the same area. It happens in the same area. So I get to that same spot, and I start, really paying attention to myself instead of the enemies on the screen, and I keep getting ran over by one of the vehicles that I'm escorting.
Because that's not convenient or anything.
Yeah, no, and it kills me. I mean, it's not like it, pushes me and then lowers my shield or anything like that. I mean, it lowers my shield and then I'm dead.
Instant cannon fodder.
Yeah, I tell you what. So, I mean, I'm not too terribly happy with that. I mean, the controls are fine. It's a passable, playable type of thing. I only paid about $6 for it, so that's fine. With what I've played of it so far, I will not be downloading it on the Xbox One when that comes out because I've got quite a bit of other stuff that I'm looking to download for that. So, moving right along, the next game that I'm sure I'm going to be made fun of for, and that's fine, I don't care, is Pokemon Y.
That's the question. Why?
Well, because...
Actually, I'm not going to knock you on that for all.
Okay. Well, I've played quite a few of the Pokemon games. I played the first one on the Game Boy. Then I also played the first one that came out on the GBA, which I believe was Ruby and Sapphire. Let's see, I played Pokemon Red, then I played Pokemon Ruby, and now I'm playing Pokemon Y, which is odd. If you go back and look at them, they're all red colors. So, but I've put in 40 plus hours now. I've got my Pokedex. I think it's close to 140. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I mean, it's really fun. It's really addictive. I think it was at 40 hours before I even had 3 badges because I spent so much time trying to get all the Pokemon in the area. And then I found out about wonder trading, so I started recatching all the Pokemon in the area just to throw them up to see what I could get out of the wonder trading, which that's an addictive gambling process that I'm amazed Nintendo is letting children do.
Explain the wonder trading to John and Jerry because you and I already know what that is since we play this.
Okay, so basically what it is in Pokemon, when you catch it, when you catch one, you have the ability to trade it off. Now, let's say me and Scott are tied together and I have a Charmander and he has a Bulbasaur and we both want to trade. Normally what we would do is we would connect directly somehow. I have yet to do this with the 3DS. Back in the day on the first couple, it was you had to actually take a physical cable and connect the Game Boy or the GBA.
To another unit.
And, yeah, so that you can make trades that way. So in the 3DS version, or X and Y, you do have the ability to make trades directly like that. But basically what wonder trading is let's say I catch a Pikachu, and I'm like, okay, well, I've already got a Pikachu, so I'm just going to basically throw this one up into the air, for lack of a better phrase. And as I do that, the system looks for someone who's looking to do the same type of blind trade at the same exact moment, and it just grabs it and it goes, okay, so this guy over in Germany gets your Pikachu, and you get his Magikarp. I don't get to see what I'm getting until it's there. So if it's something that I don't want, I can easily grab it and throw it back up into the air and, get something else come down the line. I've gotten some really amazing stuff come down the line. I really wish I could, I don't have my 3DS handy to tell you the names of some of the stuff that I got. But one of the first things that I got from Japan was this seahorse dragon poison type, and it's become one of my staple Pokemon now. Whoever it was that caught it actually gave it a nickname, and since it came from Japan, the nickname is in kanji. I can't translate it in any way. Yeah, so
wow,
that's really cool.
Now let me ask.
Just real quick. So what Ian's getting to is you can be a good guy and actually put up a valuable Pokemon to trade to hope for another valuable Pokemon, or you could be a dick and put a level 2 piece of shit Pokemon, and you could get a piece of gold for trading in a piece of shit.
Which is exactly what I've done. I've done that before, where I've jumped around and said, you know what? I've caught like 8 of these fucking rabbits with little hands for ears. Let me just go ahead and throw a couple of these up into the air and see what comes down.
Now, let me ask this, because I've seen this done online, and I've been a little curious. And obviously, without having a DS, I can't play these games and can't really enjoy them as well as you guys do. The shinies.
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest with you. I just admitted to playing 3 of these games now. First one, I think it was the 3rd or 4th one, and now this one. This is the first time I have ever heard of shinies, because I don't put a lot into doing like the EV training and too much of that stuff. I basically just played through the game to try to catch as many of the Pokemans as I could, and then that was it. That was my whole thing. I never battled against other people. I never usually traded with other people because, there was only... At one point when I was playing the first one, I had 1, maybe 2 other people that were in and out of my life at the time that we all played the game, and we were able to do trades and battles. But other than that, it was just me by myself.
Right.
So the shinies, I had to look these up the other night because I was watching Twitch and somebody was talking about it. Apparently there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance to get a Pokemon that has a weird, like, looks like little stars are bouncing off the guy or something along those lines. As far as like specifics that tie into it, I haven't got a fucking clue.
Well, the reason I ask is because I've seen a YouTube video where a guy has actually modified his 3DS so that it looks for the timeout for the animation, because apparently the shinies have a longer animation period in the black screen in the bottom portion, and it checks for that timeout, and he has actually caught like 85 shinies utilizing this hack to his unit itself.
And that's one of those things that's going too far, in my opinion. I mean, that's fine. If he wants to do that and then throw those into Wonder Trade, that's something I could commend the guy for.
Right.
But doing that with a hack system just so that he has like a shit ton of shinies
doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. I mean, if I come across one, I come across one. I don't view it like Diablo 3 when it comes to legendaries. It's like, I don't need to have all my Pokemons shiny and shit. If I get one, I get one. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. I'm not that addicted to it. Hell, I haven't even battled anyone online. The most online shit I've been doing is just the Wonder Trade.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but if you guys find yourself getting your hands on a 3DS and or a 2DS, God, I really wish I didn't have to say that. I highly recommend getting Pokemon, either X or Y. Also, another quick recommendation. I haven't been playing this recently, but Mario Kart 7 is fucking addicting as hell. Super Mario 3D Land is phenomenal. Mutant Mudds, even though I know that's on Steam, but that's still a really, really fantastic game, especially on the 3DS if you use the 3D functionality. Let's see. Any more questions about Pokemon?
No, that's all I can think of.
All right, so I just recently started playing Dishonored.
Good game.
And it's interesting. I've never really been a huge stealth game fan. I have played through Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes before, but after that, it started to get to the point where stealth games kind of got to me. Like, for lack of a better term, it made my heart race too much, so I had to quit playing the games. But, I picked this thing up for $20. I am playing it on the, I don't want to say 3DX. I'm playing it on the 360. Wow, this beer is a lot stronger than I thought it was. It's good. I'm only 2 missions into it. That being like the tutorial mission and then the initial mission right after. I'm really trying to attempt to go with an all non-lethal approach, but then I find myself where I come jumping through a window and I didn't turn on my stalker vision or whatever the hell it's called, and I didn't notice that someone was on the other side of the wall. So I jump through and I hear, "What's that?" and turn around and knife the guy in the throat real quick.
Oops.
Because I can't jump around behind him and choke him out. So I try not to kill people, but I have ended up killing people. In fact, the first assassination, quote unquote, that you have to do, I went ahead and found the instructions on how to do the branding and went ahead and did that instead of actually killing the guy.
Interesting.
It's fun. I must admit that not too long ago on Xbox Live, they did offer a huge discount on the DLC for the game that was out at the time. So before even playing 1 hour of it, I downloaded the Knife of Dunwall, which is the first DLC that was available for it. And then I also downloaded the pre-order bonus packet, which I think it was like for $1.25. I actually got every bit of pre-order DLC downloaded. So I got all the little perks and money that everybody got from their perspective retailer when they got it. So like if you took it from GameSpot, you got a certain bone set, and then if you took it from Amazon, you got a certain bone set, and other places along those lines. But what I had purchased actually gave me access to all of those instead of just 1 or 2.
Wow. Can't really go wrong with that, can you?
No. It adds a lot to it, as far as I can tell. Again, this is still just the initial kind of getting into it. I'm not sure if I'm taking things just a little too slow, because I think I'm running into the same situation that I run into with Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, is that I am way too fucking sneaky. Like, everywhere I go, I'm in stealth mode. Like, I could have already cleared out this entire building. That's okay. I'm gonna walk in stealth mode. I don't know if you're going to sneak motherfuckers up on me or some shit like that, or have them wake up because I'm choking bitches out. I'm just going to let things ride.
See, it's funny that you say that you don't like the stealth games, because I'm actually really looking forward to the remake of, well, not the remake, but maybe the continuation of the Thief series.
Well, now, is it Arcane that's doing it, or is it the original guys just redoing it?
No, I think it's Arcane that's doing that. Scott, is that right?
You're going to ask me on the spot,
I'm
aren't you?
going to ask you on the spot.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I hear the word 360 and I immediately go into a coma, so hold on just a minute and I'll look it up.
Ooh. That's funny he says it like that, but I know he uses a 360 controller when he plays games on his PC.
He does.
Square Enix.
Square Enix is doing that.
It is actually, yes, by Square Enix, which, Jerry, would be right up your alley.
Yeah,
So,
if I can
now,
never
wait,
pronounce
wait,
their
wait.
name right.
Now, hang on a second, because Square Enix, are they the publisher or are they the developers?
It is the development by Eidos Montreal.
Wow.
Okay. All right, so it's not Arcane. And it's one of these things, like, I've never played any of the Thief games, but I have heard that they are fantastic games.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Get them cheap on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on my wish list.
See, that's the thing, though, is with how old that game is, I don't think it has gamepad support. I think it would be all WASD and Waggle.
And you would be correct.
WASD
Oh, well, that
and Waggle.
sucks.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Is that a technical term?
Yeah, see,
WASD and Waggle?
No. That's just me insulting PC gamers.
Well, we figured that much.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, I too PC game, but I use a gamepad.
Yes.
That's why usually when I purchase anything, I make sure that it has gamepad support before I go on and make the final purchase.
This would make sense.
Let's see here. So, I mean, yeah, I've been enjoying the hell out of Dishonored. I really have only played maybe 3 hours so far. So that's about all I've been doing. Let's move this right along.
All right. So, myself, I have quite a bit of drinking that I've done in the past few days, or actually just day. One thing that John forgot to mention when he was going through his beer drinking history pretty much in the past week or month or so is yesterday we had the very rare ability to be able to go to, on the weekend, a beer tasting down in downtown Dallas, kind of North Dallas, right on Oakland and 35 at this local brunch place called the Meddlesome Moth. And they were doing a Firestone Walker beer tasting of pretty much the most rare beers you could ever think of. They started us out with a double DBA, which was a 12%, and it was beautiful, and very caramel sweet flavors were in that. Then we moved into the dark stout that was called the Parabola, and that is probably one of the most rare beers that you'll ever find. Firestone comes out of California, so their stuff coming over here into the Texas state is, their basic stuff is here, but not their rare stuff like this, because it's aged for so long. in whiskey barrels, and it just had coffee and espresso flavors that were mind-blowing. It was beautiful. And then they took us right along into the Sukaba, which, John, correct me if I'm wrong, was that a barley?
That's a barley wine.
Okay, that's a barley wine. Now, the Parabola and the Sukaba were both at 13%, so we were pretty much getting our asses handed to us right when we started drinking that. We got some food in us, felt some pretty good mellow feelings going on, so we were just sitting back, relaxing, chilling, and one of the Firestone guys in the Texas region was actually there answering any questions that we had. So it was really neat to just talk about that. Then we went to the Deep Ellum area and went to a local place called Craft and Growler, which you can buy your own growlers, fill them up with, they switch out their menu every week to about 30 different craft brews from local and out of state. They had some Avery, they had some Stone, they had the Stone. John, I don't know how to say it, so you'll have to say it's the 19th anniversary.
No, 17th anniversary. Double IPA, and I'm going to butcher the hell out of saying this, but I think it was the Grottermrung?
Wrong. That's how I said it. Very hoppy, very, very grapefruity, very sweet. It's a great beer. I ended up walking away with my standard Pediclus Velvet Hammer that I can't get anywhere else. It's a great, great IPA. But yeah, and then tonight I'm drinking a Clown Shoes Tramp Stamp, which is a Belgian style IPA. Very good, sweet. Again with the IPA flavors with the hoppiness. So can't go wrong with that. John has turned me into a snooty beer drinker.
So let me ask you real quick, Clown Shoes.
Sure.
Have you had the? God damn it! I just picked this one up tonight. Is the Genghis Pecan?
I have not had Genghis Pecan. I did see that. That looks good. Actually, what I picked up when we went to Total Wine and Spirits, or Total Wine and More, whatever the hell it's called, I actually did pick up the Clown Shoes Vampire Slayer, which is a stout. And then there's an actual Russian Imperial Stout that they have that's called the Unidragon.
Okay, real quick. When you drink that Vampire Slayer, you need to keep the bottle.
I will.
I found out tonight that Clown Shoes is actually going to have to change the name of that beer because they were issued a cease and desist from a wine company that uses Vampire Slayer as their name.
God.
Oh, wow.
I guess I know
So
what I'm
they've
gonna
actually... Yeah, so they've come out and they said that they're going to go ahead and change the name. If I remember correctly, my brother told me that they're changing the name to Undead Party Crasher.
Wow.
And they're going to go ahead and change the picture on the bottle, which is supposed to kind of make fun of lawyers because of all of this.
Nice.
Beautiful. I will get that when that comes out. I'm going to be trying to keep this cellared as long as I can. I don't see it probably lasting that long, especially if I go get the Unidragon, which is the Russian Imperial, which I'm a huge fan of. I've also had what John's drinking tonight, which is the Founder's Breakfast Stout. If you can get yourself on that, get it. It's got great coffee flavors to it if you're a big coffee drinker. Cannot go wrong with Founders at all.
Ian, I was going to say, sorry, Scott, I didn't mean to jump in on you.
No, go ahead.
Ian, they do carry the Golden Drop 9000 as well, up at Total.
Okay.
I know you're a Golden Drop guy, so.
Yeah, a lot of places carry Golden Drop nowadays. It's getting to the point where it's fairly simple to find. And now, if we could get some pubs and bars in the areas to carry it, then that would be great.
Agreed.
Amen.
But yeah, this is the 9000 series as well, so.
Excellent. Love to hear that.
Yes.
All right. And then on the gaming front, I'm just going to pretty much run down the titles. You guys can pay attention. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask, just because I've been playing a lot. I participated in Extra Life the last weekend, and that was a charity event where a bunch of gamers get together, not just video gamers, but tabletop gamers, role-playing gamers, card-playing gamers, whatever. It's just all about raising money, playing games for 24 hours for children's hospitals, local and abroad. You actually get to pick the hospital that you want to represent. So I did represent our local children's hospital, Cook Children's in Dallas. I was able to raise $230, which I'm very thankful for everybody that did donate to that.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear, hear.
Yes, definitely. And I want to get all four of us and definitely anybody on the group page. Next year, we should definitely do a group event since a lot of us are local and we do need to get together and see about setting up some kind of either LAN type event or just, gaming online together. Because I'll tell you what, once I start naming these games, a lot of this is multiplayer and that's what we just had fun doing, was just hanging out and just shooting the shit. So
yeah, just
Okay,
like with Winter EMOS, if I can volunteer the upstairs if we want to do it, people getting together.
There we go.
absolutely.
Okay. Now, another thing that I want to throw out there is that the Xbox One will have the ability to broadcast to Twitch. So by the time next year rolls around and we want to do Extra Life, we can go ahead and play a shit ton of Xbox games easily in the front, in the living room of my house. That would be great. We got the Kinect. That'll be the camera that can watch us. It's all enclosed in that one system. I'm not going to do it anymore, but there you go. That's out there.
So what happens when we get drunk and we're on the stream and then one of us just, I don't know, myself maybe yells Xbox off?
Well, one, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And then two, I'm going to turn it back on. We're going to get back on the stream and everything's going to be fine.
There you go. No, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I really want to do something as a group next year. It was cool doing it. I did it for the website that I write for. But anyways, so started actually at a different time. It usually is supposed to start at 8 a.m. on Saturday and go to 8 a.m. on Sunday. I can't sleep during the day. I'm weak. I don't care. I did want a game for 24 hours, so I did start at 1:30 in the morning Saturday. And I went to 1:30 in the morning, almost 2 o'clock actually by the time I was done, just because I was having so much fun on Sunday. So I started out, played an indie game on Steam called Gone Home. That is all about, I'll just say, when it goes on cheap sale, buy it, play it. It's a good experience. I'm not going to say what it's about. Just know that you play as a girl coming home from a trip abroad overseas, and your family's supposed to be there, and nobody's around. So you can interact with anything in the house. You can pick up the objects. You can read objects. You can play music tapes. You can open up cassette players. It's a really good throwback to the 90s era because they have a lot of grunge, and actually is from 1990, I want to say 4. So they throw a lot of, old retrospect to Super NES games. They bring up Street Fighter a lot, and really good game. It's probably not a good game to start out with because it does have an emotional ending, and I'm like, fuck this. I need to play something a lot lighthearted. So that's when I started playing Devil May Cry, and I was having some fun with that. Played that, almost beat it today actually, so I had a good time playing that. Finally beat Bastion, which anybody on here, if you need a copy, I got it on Google Drive. Cannot recommend this game enough. It is by Supergiant Games, who's also working on Transistor, which is going to be a next-gen game on PS4, Steam. I'm not sure if they said that they were going to do an Xbox One release, but Supergiant Games you cannot go wrong with, especially this game alone. Narration's great, story's great, really good message. Then the shenanigans and the shit started happening, and I stopped my stream that actually I did on Twitch, and I started playing Grand Theft Auto Online. Grand Theft Auto Online always was skeptical to me because I did try to play online with Grand Theft Auto 4. I did not feel it. I thought it was just a multiplayer has-been. You just get into a room. You can't do anything. You can't go into any buildings. All you do is just pretty much kill everybody. Grand Theft Auto Online on Grand Theft Auto 5 takes that to the next level, where not only can you get into private rooms with your own friends, but you can do multiplayer death matches. You could do sky jumps out of a plane and do free fall, and you can actually do a demolition derby on the top of a skyscraper, and whoever's the last man driving on the skyscraper wins. You could do dog fights and jets. You could do racing dirt bikes in the mountains with rockets shooting out. Just pretty much possibilities are endless. Then you could go into a co-op mode. You could go hold up convenience stores. You could do missions by repoing vehicles. For a group of guys getting late in the day, this is probably about at the 16 to 17 hour mark when I was playing and drinking, of course. It's a great game to play with when you know who you're playing with, just like with Red Dead Redemption. I loved Red Dead Redemption Online when I knew who I was playing with. I hated it when it was random pieces of shit that all they wanted to do was just fuck with you and they didn't want to do anything. So I can't stop talking about that, so I'm just going to stop right there because we need to get into our next segment. But that's all I've been playing and drinking. So now this is a new part of our podcast where we are going to do what we're going to call it. This is in beta mode or whatever, so we might change the name up, but it's pretty much going to be called the Video Game Throwdown. What this is this is going to be a 1-minute time limit where every person here talking, John, Jerry, Ian, and myself, we're all going to be recording a 1-minute reason why we think our game is the game that should be picked. Every week every podcast episode that we do, we'll have a topic. This week's topic is best game this generation. So this is across the board. Xbox 360, PS3, PC, handhelds, whatever. Wii, if you want to throw a Wii game in there. I know Twilight Princess was a pretty badass game, but who knows?
Man, you guys got my pick. Damn it.
Anyways, this is going from the year 2006 to the present. So we are each going to do a 1-minute presentation of what game we picked and why we think that you should vote for it. And you, the listener, can then go to our Facebook page. We'll have the question up right after this podcast, and you could select what game is the best. I know it's a lot of explanation, but it's pretty simple. So I'm going to start it out. We have a timekeeper that is going to be John. He's got it on his handy-dandy notebook. Little Blue's Clues reference right there.
Good Lord. I'm going to pretend that we just
John,
go to that
you're going to be... yeah, that's
Wow.
fine. John, you're going to be starting it, and you're also going to be keeping yourself time limit, so we're going to trust you, but I'm also going to be looking at Audacity, so if you do go over a minute, I will start yelling
That's
at
fine.
you.
I've got my stopwatch pulled
So you
up.
may begin whenever you're ready, sir.
Okay, so I will be starting in 3, 2, 1, going. All right, so I'm going to make the argument for actually 2 games here. My first one will be on PC, since that is my primary gaming system. For PC, I'm going to make the argument for BioShock. That could be the series, or it could be the very first BioShock. Either way, BioShock is going to be my pick for this entire setup. Reason being, you have an amazing storyline. You're stuck in Rapture, you're underneath the water, you're having to deal with these big daddies, the little daughters, or the little sisters. In the second series, you're dealing with big sisters. It is just a phenomenal game. If we go and we look at any other systems, in particular, this one's going to be handheld. Not saying that I actually have one, but I will make the argument for Pokemon, the Pokemon series. It's something I've always wanted to pick my hands up on, play it, enjoy it. I've tried to emulate it, and they do a very great series, and I have 4 seconds left, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there for my section.
Okay, so what are you going to pick? You can only pick one, John, so what game are you
We'll go
going
with
to pick?
BioShock, since I have not actually
All
played.
right, good explanation of why that's game of this generation. Big Daddies and Little Sisters, I like
Exactly.
it.
Pedo.
All right, so we'll go into me. We're going to do all 4 of us, and then we can all discuss each other.
We're going to
Of
go
why-
into Scott. Let's go into Scott.
All right, here we
Yeah.
go.
So,
Scott,
John,
you
count
have
me down.
3, 2, 1, and go.
So I'm going to go back to, we'll go to the year 2009. It's pretty much about a few years into this next generation, and a lot of games were out. Some good, some not so good. We're talking about Xbox 360, PS3, PC. But one game stood out for that year. Defined not only 2009, but the entire console and PC generation. This game won many awards throughout the entire year. Game of the Year awards across the board from sites reputable such as IGN, Eurogamer, Game Informer, Joystick, Kotaku, Giant Bomb, AIAS, XPlay, Game Developers Choice Awards, Spike Video Game Awards. And that game has just amazing storytelling, great multiplayer elements that nobody would have ever pictured it being good on this game. And that game, of course, is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves.
10
That stars
seconds.
Nolan North as Nathan Drake, and you cannot go wrong with this series. So just look at the awards. That's all I have to
Time.
say. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Blech.
All right, Jerry.
All right.
This is now your time for presentation. Are you?
I don't have my PowerPoint ready.
I was about to say, it sounded like Scott had a page up there ready to go. Are you ready, Jerry?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Work in the dark to serve the light, because nothing is true and everything is permitted. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood by Ubisoft. I love Ubisoft. They've done great games. I've never been disappointed with one they've done. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood to me had the best of everything. Assassin's Creed 2 was awesome. Some people argue that Brotherhood could have just been a 2.5 type thing, but I really think they did a great job. I think they defined what open world really should be about. Graphics were beautiful. Fighting ability, chaining together different things definitely increased over 2. The soundtrack was awesome, and I was never bored within this video game, between the 2012 storyline with Desmond to the 16th century main story with Ezio. You get to recruit assassins, send them on missions. You have side missions for Leonardo da Vinci. You have side missions for the followers of Romulus, upgrading
10
weapons,
seconds.
upgrading Rome, flashbacks, and the new multiplayer, which has been a kick for the Assassin's Creed series with the cat and mouse games.
Time. Very nicely done. All right.
I win, suckers.
Is that how you're going to finish out your argument? You just win right out
Yeah.
that way. All right.
Pretty much.
Ian, are you ready?
I am ready. Bring it
All
on.
right. You have 3, 2, 1, start.
Okay, so I didn't take the time to write down a long, drawn-out PowerPoint presentation like my buddy Jerry here. I'm just going to go ahead and say the game that I'm picking is based on the fun that I had with multiplayer, the amount of time I spent inside the game, and one thing that the game did that ended up causing almost every game in this generation to have. The game that I'm picking is Gears of War 2. The reason why I'm picking it is because I spent a shit ton of time playing Horde with you guys, and Horde mode is also one of those things that is now prevalent in almost every game that has come out ever since that game has been released. You have it in Halo with Firefight. You have it in Saints Row with the Horde mode. You have it in all sorts of other things. Now, I can't talk about the graphics because unfortunately it runs on the Unreal Engine, and we all know that has that 3-second pop in when that happens when you come into a new area. But the gameplay to Gears of War 2, the time that I was spent on it, the fun that I had with it, and the horde mode, everything that ties into that just, to me, that's the game.
Very nice indeed.
All right, I know that we have gone just over an hour, and we usually will take this time to say why everybody's pick sucks, especially Ian's.
Can I thank my sponsor?
Hey, fuck you.
What we can do real quick, just so we can get our little 2 cents in without everybody yelling over each other, is, John, we'll go in order again. You now know all of our picks. Tell us why on each one of our picks, real quick, why you think that our picks suck and that yours are better than that your pick BioShock is better than all three of ours.
Oh, that's going to be a tough one, especially since I have played all of these games and actually enjoyed them all personally myself. I would say that my battle against Uncharted. So, with the Uncharted series, you don't have any learning or crafting capabilities that you have to do like you do in BioShock, or where you've got magic as you inject yourself in the arm. With Assassin's Creed, they do take a little bit of liberty when it comes time to actually give us back this history that may or may not actually be happening. Now, granted, yes, BioShock is a completely unique world. No fact or reality behind it. And I don't know how many guys can actually jump off of 40-story buildings and survive in a hay barrel. Don't know how well that works in real life.
Hey, you get with Mythbusters and ask them to do that then.
That may not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I think when Buster was trying to break water before hitting it, they kind of busted that myth as well.
Oh, shut up.
And then I guess we'll wrap up with the Gears of War 2. Yeah, I don't know how well I would be dealing with any grubs that are coming out of the ground. Not to sound like a pussy or anything, but I see that shit, I'm out of here. Y'all deal with it. It ain't mine to fight.
I don't have to outrun them. I just have to outrun you.
You just gonna push me down and throw me to the ground?
Oh.
So I'll go into mine real quick of why Uncharted 2 Among Thieves is the best pick this generation. Not only just because of the awards. BioShock, seriously? First-person shooter, we've seen them. And horror games, we've seen them. There's nothing to it. It's BioShock. And you got little girls. Why do you want to be chasing after little girls, dude? You're pedophilia right there. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Jerry. So you're picking an expansion pack off of Assassin's Creed 2 that is the game of this generation.
I'm going to come to your house when you're sleeping and smother you.
I love that you picked an expansion pack, which makes Uncharted 2 so much easier to pick. So that's awesome. Thank you for picking that game. Gears of War 2. Yeah, you got Horde mode, but you've only named 2 games, Ian, and you're telling me that Horde mode is in every game after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to hear all these other games that have Horde mode, because Uncharted never did a Horde mode.
Okay.
Uncharted 3 never did Horde mode. So please, when you do your talking, I would like to hear these other games that have copied from Gears of War 2 to give me a Horde mode.
Alien Colonial Marine.
All right, that's a great example. Alien Colonial Marine. So great. You're going to compare it to that. Left 4 Dead came out before Gears of War 2. All right.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Jerry, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Go ahead. Tell us why Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is better than BioShock, Uncharted 2, and Gears of War 2.
I've never played BioShock. I looked at it and almost shat my pants. So I don't do that game. Whatever. Uncharted 2, I'm going to pick a game that only one console thinks is good enough. So, nobody on the Xbox, on the Wii, on the PC, on handheld, outside of Sony can play Uncharted 2 because it sucks that bad that only PlayStation would dump money into it. Because Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is on every freaking platform, okay? Same argument for Gears of War 2 that just Xbox thinks it's awesome. Whatever. And I'm going to put a chainsaw on the end of my gun so I can be a BA.
Because that's fucking awesome. Okay, so I guess it's my turn to rip into you guys.
It is.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to make this as easy as possible. BioShock, let's go ahead and rip off Ayn Rand. Done, let's throw that out of the way. Uncharted 2, let's go ahead and rip off my good man Indiana Jones. That's out of the way. Get that shit out of my face. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to agree with Scott here. You picked a game that is an expansion pack for an ongoing series. That also, you picked an annually released game, which means it is shat out just as quick and as easily as all of the Call of Duty games. Gears of War 2. Creating shit for you.
All right. Very nicely done. So that's how this is going to go. Look for it on our Facebook page. It is now open, so listeners, definitely go check us out. You can find us at Super Barley Brothers on Facebook. Just do a search for that. And we're going to leave you now. Got our email address. If you have any questions that you want us to discuss on a future podcast, you can email us at Super Barley Brothers, Super Barley, Barley, Brothers, Bros, not spelled out, at gmail.com. My name's Scott. I am at FLIP42 on Twitter, on Steam, and Fanboy T4L on PSN, blah, 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 but you don't need to get all that. John is PH03NIX42 at Twitter. John, do you want to give anything else out as far as handle on anything?
That'll work for now. I'll put my other handle information on the page.
Right. Jerry is JD_Shep, SHEP on Twitter. Jerry, do you have anything you want to hand out handle-wise?
No.
All right. Ian is at Fiend, FIEND 75002.
Yep, and that that's also my 360, and that will be my Xbox One handle as well.
Yes, because that will convert over, right?
Yes, exactly.
Very cool. All right, guys, so that is Super Barley Brothers Podcast, Episode 3, Revenge of the Revolutions. I don't know what the whatever. All right, guys.
Hey, one more thing.
Yes.
I've got a hidden blade, and I'm coming after all of y'all tonight.
Oh,
so.
Awesome.
I've got a hidden blade too, buddy. Come on over.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not going to Ian's.
All right, guys. We'll take care and look for our next episode, podcast episode 4, A New Hope. Hoping for a better podcast episode, maybe. Who knows? All right, bye.
The voyage home.